You won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest?
Rabbit, rabbit,
bunny,
rabbit,
jabber,
jabber,
rabbit,
rabbit,
yep,
yep,
rabbit,
rabbit,
bunny,
bunny,
yep,
jabber,
rabbit.
rabbit.
I know you're filming. You're not going to catch me doing something silly in front of the camera. Just
You done?
I'm done. Good. Hello and welcome to another PropDog review. Here's Jason, who is going to introduce the product.
On today's chat, we are talking about the slow motion newspaper tear by Nick Lewin. And
Well, it's Alex Elmsley's newspaper tear. That's what Jason's after. And he credits Alex with all the workings of the newspaper tear. And also Alex has given his blessing, or did give his blessing, for Nick Lewin to do it. And if I know anything about Alex, I guess that probably glass of whiskey was pretty much all you needed to get him to sign over the right stuff. But anyway.
I don't know if that's slander or libelous.
No, he was a lovely man, was Alex. He was.
I'm sure he was. Yeah, so this is the slow motion newspaper tear. So the reason we're talking about this is we get calls quite often asking if we have any newspaper tears in stock. And before a couple of weeks ago, the answer was pretty much no, because most people nowadays will use Newsflash by the wonderful Axel Hecklau, which I have myself. And I think is very, very good, and I know it's used by lots of top pros. But Alex Kirk here, he poo-pooed the Newsflash. Sorry, Axel. And he said he much preferred the Alex Elmsley version. So no, do you mean Alex Elmsley?
Yeah.
Alex Elmsley's version, yes. So tell us why you think the Alex Elmsley version is worth a look, because, and I will caveat this. Having watched this DVD, I kind of agree, but Alex will tell you why.
Right, okay, well it all comes, I'm going to take it right back to the magic theory that I first discovered in the Books of Wonder, so Jason can now fall asleep. Tommy Wonder talks about spoon feeding and not giving your...
I'm good at that.
You're not giving your... Yes, but you see with Charlie or your baby, you don't give them a huge spoon and ram it down because it all they can't
Well,
handle
Bruce
it.
has a boob at the moment.
Right, okay, well, yes, there we go. Right, so... When they finish breastfeeding,
Set me up for that, didn't you?
they finish breastfeeding, what you do is you don't want to give your audience too much information at any one time because basically they can't swallow it. So what Tommy Wonder emphasises is with a card, if you're going to find their selection, you first find it face down in an unusual place and then you turn it over. If it's face up right from the way, you've given away that it not only is the card travelled, but it's also their card at the same time.
So they're getting multiple moments of magic.
Exactly. Smaller,
Alliterated.
smaller, but more of them. And in fact, Miles Thornton on his wonderful At the Table DVD emphasises exactly the same thing. He doesn't actually, I'm assuming he didn't get it from Tommy Wonder because he doesn't mention Tommy Wonder, but he mentions his theory on why you catch something, then you slowly open your hand to show.
No, but that is quite an obvious thing, isn't it? But I guess it's a thing that lots of magicians sort of overlook, because really, the more theatre you can put into your performance, and that's what it is, the better.
Yeah, so with this, what you get is with Newsflash, obviously, you have the pieces in yay, sort of A5 size. You open it up and you get the whole newspaper.
It's a beautiful
in a flash.
display. It's a
Looks
beautiful
fantastic.
display. Yeah.
But what's happened is the audience have got it. He's ripped it up. Oh, it's whole.
It's almost blink and you'll miss it.
Yep. With a slower newspaper tear. Now, this isn't the only slow newspaper tear. Gene Anderson's got one, and things like this. This is Alex Elmsley's method. So there are lots. There's 3 or 4 that I could probably think of off the top of my head. People who came out with so much there. It's the older way of doing it, so you don't need magnets and things like that, or weights.
Say hello, Mel.
It's Mel.
Yep, she makes you pads. She makes you pads, and all
she
the
keeps
other
fit
and all
by
the
it.
other things.
So what you get with this one, of course, is so you get them all down. You rip it up to roughly the same size as you would do Newsflash, but you then fold it out slowly, and the edges can join.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
And so people go, they're ripped apart, and then they see them almost. They just do bit by bit. So they go, I can't believe it. It is coming back together.
Well, the nice thing about it is you get kind of 2 unfolds before a flash restore. So he unfolds it once, and you can see the jagged edges around the rest of the paper, and then he unfolds that again, and then releases and ends up with the fully formed paper.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Like there's
glue and scissors.
Yeah, that's the best way. I was just trying to think how I can say what's not involved. But glue and scissors is literally all you would need to make these gimmicks up.
Oh, and a newspaper.
Yeah, and a couple of newspapers. But the nice thing about it is, again, like Axles, you can make up multiple. If you get 10 copies of the Metro, you'll be able to make up as many copies as you want and use it again. I think the making up of the gimmick is probably quicker on this.
Yep.
There's less. It's hard. It's hard. I think they're similar. I think if you're doing Axles week in week out, you'll get the making process down pretty quickly. Axel's tuition is brilliant on his, where he's got the different size guides for each possible newspaper around the world. He's really thought it through, as he does on all of his products. And this is no way saying that Axel's newspaper tear is bad, because it's phenomenal. But this one just works with any newspaper, any size. You just do the folds, and you just relate it to whatever size of paper you're using.
I think it's really. I find it really easy to set up, which is why I started using it in the first place, because it's really easy to remember.
Nick's a brilliant teacher.
It's a brilliant teacher. And
a really nice performance as well.
Yeah, the other thing is, I think sometimes magic can be too quick, and this really gives you a chance to sort of have viewers a bit of the magic as well. And you can present it as seriously or as daft as you like.
Yeah.
But there's no real rush over it. It's lovely. It's lovely.
It's nice. You can tell he really cares about it. You can tell he's done it for a long, long time. It's like all these things that we say when it's someone's. Obviously, it's not his brainchild, but it's something he's done for such. I think Mel's just collapsed.
Yeah.
But it really is it's a top quality DVD. I don't know how much it is. I can't remember, but I know for sure it's cheaper than Newsflash by Axel. So I think we highly recommend it, don't we?
I love it. It's the newspaper tear that I do, and I haven't been convinced to use Newsflash since. It's horses for courses. If you really want it to be a quick one, then fine. But newspaper tear, cheap as chips, really easy to do.
And that is Nick Lewin's ultimate slow motion newspaper tear.
Just hands.
Okay. I like it. Keep handing.
I'm handing. I haven't noticed.
Cause you won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest?
Rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit, yep, rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit.